Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
The last time the Phillies were home, there was a sprinkle of magic. That feeling when you thought nothing could keep your team down was back. The late-inning struggles were gone, and the walk-off celebrations were popping their heads out on a regular basis. 19 of the next 27 games will be played at Citizens Bank Park. Time once again to rekindle a little more hometown magic. Back home at Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies have 9 games in the next 10 days on this homestand, and it begins tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's game 1 of a 3-game series. News today, those coming to the ballpark expecting to see Joe Blanton pitch. Joe was claimed off waivers by the Dodgers. The Phillies eventually traded him to Los Angeles today for a player to be named later or cash consideration. So Joe, who was so durable for the Phils since he arrived, helped him to a world championship. He is now heading west to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. So that's the news of the day. Joe Blanton has been dealt to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Kyle Kendrick will make the start tonight for the Phillies, and for the foreseeable future, Kyle will be in the starting rotation. And the Phillies, if they're going to make up any kind of ground at all in the division, they're game behind the Marlins for fourth place in the National League East. They got a lot of home games coming up.
Yeah, and they need to play better at home. They finished, as we see in the opening tonight, that they finished really strong with those games against Milwaukee. But, you know, can they keep it up or not? Who knows? Look at the competition they're going to face. This team tonight, they are smoking hot. Atlanta, they can smell a division title. St. Louis, Cincinnati, maybe the best team in the National League right now. Washington, a very good team, and the Mets, dangerous anytime they play the Phillies. So, you know, in the old days, you think, wow, you're at home, you're going to pick up all kinds of ground, you're going to win all kinds of games. Unfortunately, it hasn't been that way this year.
Well, let's talk about these Arizona Diamondbacks. They have been very hot. In fact, they're climbing right now in the National League West.
Well, the West is open right now for the taking. You look at the Dodgers, not a great team, but a good team. San Francisco, the same thing. So Arizona sitting there, the hottest team in the division for the last couple months. They have to think they have a really good chance to jump up and win. And they know how to win because they've done it in the past. You see what happened in April and May, and then since then, they have been really good. And they have a couple guys we'll talk about, Goldschmidt, Montero, guys in their lineup. They have Steven Drew back right now. They have some really good offensive players. They're good enough for Young to be batting 8th in their lineup right now. So this is a very dangerous team. Quietly, too, they have good starting pitching and an excellent bullpen.
Yeah, in fact, their bullpen is the best in the National League since the end of May. We'll see if it comes into play for this 3-game series. So weekend baseball here at Citizens Bank Park. It'll be Kyle Kendrick on the mound tonight, making his 14th start of the year. Ian Kennedy, who won 21 games last year, he hasn't had the same kind of success. He's been better lately. He's set to make his 22nd start for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So again, the fans settling in. It's a long homestand. A lot of home games for the month of August so they can see their Fightin' Phils. When we come back, the lineups in the first pitch for tonight's ball game. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch with a reminder from Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Designated driver. By Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. We're creating a more coordinated healthcare system that is built around you. Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. home as they get set for the first of this 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Earlier today, Joe Blanton and Rich Dubé meeting on the field. This is after Joe heard that he had been dealt to the Los Angeles Dodgers, who claimed him off waivers, and then the Phillies worked out a deal, which is what you can do with the Dodgers. So Joe will be heading west. He was scheduled to start tonight, but instead it'll be Kyle Kendrick, who in his last start on the 6th of July, Wills, he was pretty good against the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, he was. In that game, he didn't give up anything. In fact, Phillies got themselves into one of those low-scoring games, lost it late, as they had a lot of trouble in that series with the Braves. But he matched up against Tim Hudson that night. Hudson didn't give up anything. Kendrick matched him pitch for pitch in the game, but wasn't able to come up with a victory in it. So, he's been very good throughout his career, going back and forth, spot starting. See, that's what he did that night with 1 walk and 5 strikeouts and no earned runs in the game in 7 innings.
All right, let's take a look at the lineup for the Diamondbacks. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Stephen Drew, then Aaron Hill and Jason Kubel. Paul Goldschmidt is the first baseman. He'll back cleanup. Justin Upton hits 5th. Miguel Montero 6th, followed by Chris Johnson, Chris Young, and Ian Kennedy. So we're ready to go. Stephen Drew will lead it off, and the first pitch of the night is outside. So we're underway, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
A few new faces since the last time we saw these guys. Drew is back. Chris Johnson, who's with Houston organization, playing third base for them. They are very hot offensively right now.
1-0 pitch, a change up inside and low, 2-0.
Drew's still trying to get it going after that gruesome ankle injury he had last year, but so many guys in their lineup, as we'll go through it later, are just on fire.
Yeah, remarkably, when the Phillies faced the Diamondbacks earlier this year, everybody thought Drew was due to come back. It's that one in the air to right field. It's pretty deep. SCHIERHOLTZ on the run. He has a beat on it, and he puts it away for the first out.
He got out in front of that a little bit and hit it off the end of the bat. It didn't sound really well hit when he hit it, but it jumped.
Well, Kyle's numbers on the year, he's 4-8 overall, 2-7 as a starter, 65 strikeouts in 89 innings of work. He's made 13 starts. This is his 14th. You see the scouting report.
And he's had 2 earned runs or less in 8 of those. And then the other ones, he's 0-5. Including a start against these guys when we were out in Arizona where he didn't miss a bat that night. Boy, was it loud.
Said he thought he had made good pitches that night, but they were just finding too much of the plate. Aaron Hill is the hitter. What a pickup Aaron Hill has been for the Diamondbacks. He helped them win the division last year after they picked him up for the Toronto Blue Jays, and he's picked up right where he left off a season ago this year.
Thanks to hit for the cycle.
He's done it twice already this year.
Can you imagine that? Twice in 1 year? It was like twice in a month.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count.
We used to see this guy when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays. I think he's a pretty good looking little player. Had good power. Was a decent second baseman. They dealt him to the D-backs, and he's really played well for them.
Yeah, the Blue Jays got Kelly Johnson in that deal. The 1-2 pitch to right field, not deep, playable for SCHIERHOLTZ. And Nate SCHIERHOLTZ has made the first 2 putouts in this game.
A long homestand underway right now, and here are Nissan keys to game number 1. Phil's facing the hottest team in the National League West, these D-backs, and they have a lot of really good young talent. And the way they play the game, they say they mirrors that guy right there, KIRK Gibson, who played it. Well, he played about as hard as anybody could play.
Well, they've won 3 straight. They're 35-26 since the 22nd of May, and one of the big reasons why is this guy right here. Jason Kubel has 72 runs batted in. It's remarkable. They picked him up as a free agent from the Minnesota Twins. Out in front of a changeup, and it's 0-2.
Since June the 4th, the most RBIs in Major League Baseball with 48. Albert Pujols and Colby Rasmus second with 44. There's the numbers on KIRK Gibson.
182 wins since he took over for A.J. Hinch. And a called strike 3. A 2-seamer from Kendrick, and Kubel was frozen with it. 1-2-3 go the D-backs. Good start for Kyle. On to the bottom of the first. Diamondbacks nothing. Phillies coming up. it has been for the last week or so. Let's take a look at Charlie Emanuel's lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop is Jimmy Rollins. Nate Scherholtz, the right fielder, bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and John Mayberry Jr. in center field. Dominic Brown's at left field. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom of third of FRANDSEN, Schneider starting for Carlos Ruiz and Kyle Kendrick. And they'll face 27-year-old right-hander, a 20-game winner a year ago, Ian Kennedy. He hasn't been the same pitcher this year that he was a season ago. Some of his numbers are similar, others not so much.
Well, yeah, he's given up more hits than innings pitched, as you see there. He's the #1 pick of the Yankees out of USC.
Rollins takes a fastball to start off his at-bat. It's 0-1.
Wound up at a three-way deal back in 09 with the D-backs and Yankees and Detroit. A lot of big names involved in that trade.
That was a changeup, but it's 0-2 to Rollins. Rollins, a .250 hitter, 12 homers, 40 runs batted in. Playing in career game number 1,721, which will leave him 9 away from Larry Bowa's mark for shortstops in the Phillies history.
Kennedy's not going to blow the radar gun away. In fact, we're going to mention tonight when he and Joe Blanton were pitching against each other, you weren't going to see many walks in the game because neither one of them walk many batters. They're strike throwers. But this guy will change speeds. He has fastball, curveball, slider, change up. He moves it around in the strike zone a lot.
Nate Scherholtz is 1 for 11 against him lifetime. Faced the Diamondbacks often when he was with the San Francisco Giants. And Scherholtz fouls the first pitch off the glove of Montero. It's 0-1.
Kenny threw a shutout against the Phillies last year in Arizona. A couple other games they've had better luck against him.
Overall, though, 1-1 with a 2.25 earned run average. There's a strike. He's throwing nothing but strikes.
That's what he's going to do. He's going to pound the strike zone, but not in the middle of the plate. If he gets the ball in the middle of the plate, you can get him, and he's a really fast worker. You need to step out on him once in a while. See, he's ready to go almost immediately.
0-2 pitch. They try to go upstairs, and Scherholtz fouls it away. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Bobby Price of Philadelphia. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, then Bobby will win $200. Broke his bat, liner to right. That'll drop for a hit. Upton will take it on one hop. So Scherholtz has his third hit in a Phil's uniform. And he's aboard with one out here in the bottom of the first. Sounded like he broke his bat.
Oh, yeah, sure did. Right off the end. Some kind of off-speed pitch there as he'd gotten ahead of him.
Chase is hitting .253. He has 5 home runs with 14 runs batted in. Pretty good career numbers against the Diamondbacks. The Phillies haven't faced the Diamondbacks that often, just twice a year. Infield will set up for 2 with Scherholtz over at first.
They usually beat him in this ballpark, too. Phillies have had a lot of luck against Arizona here over the years.
Well, let's hope it continues.
8 out of the last 9, I think, something like that.
Phillies won 2 of 3 against Arizona the last time they faced each other. Lost that first game when Wade Miley pitched. Utley takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
9 out of their last 10 here against Arizona at this ballpark. And they've only lost 1 of their 8 all-time series against the D-backs here, and that was back in 07.
Well, let's hope that continues, Wiz.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Inside, it nearly hit him. 2-1. And Kennedy has hit a lot of guys, 9 so far this year. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Washington is leading Miami 7-3 in the bottom of the 8th. That's game 1 of a doubleheader. Adam LaRoche has homered again, his 21st of the year. He also has a double in that ball game. Utley lines it to center field. Young on the run, and he makes the catch, and Scherholtz is going to be doubled up. He has no idea that that ball was caught. He's just now getting back to second, and it'll be an easy double play for the Diamondbacks. So Chase Utley puts a charge in it, but Chris Young is able to track it down a step from the warning track. He got a pretty good jump. And the put out to double up SCHIERHOLTZ goes 8-6-3. We'll be back for the second. Because he just got doubled up. It was an easy double play once Chris Young caught the ball off the bat of Chase Utley. And now we go to the top of the second. Scoreless ball game, and Paul Goldschmidt will lead it off for the Diamondbacks.
One of the best first ball hitters in the league. He loves to hit first pitches, and he does a pretty good job of it.
They'll start him off with a slider, and it's 0-1.
That was some catch at Young Day. Watching that replay, he hit the heel of his glove, and then it went up into his body, and he had to cradle it as he was running towards the wall.
0-2 the count to Goldschmidt.
Boy, is this guy strong. He reminds you of Reynolds with better contact.
I think because of his arrival, I think that's why they were okay with getting rid of Mark Reynolds.
Well, he's a very similar type guy. He is so strong that the park can't hold him anywhere.
"24 years old. Born in Wilmington, Delaware. Says he doesn't remember much about Delaware. And lives now in Arizona. Last year he had .250 in 48 games with 8 home runs and 26 runs batted in. But prior to his call up, he had 30 home runs and 94 RBIs down in the minor leagues. And he fouls that one off his leg, and it remains 0-2.
Yeah, he's a guy that really helped them get to postseason play last year. They played Milwaukee and wound up losing in that series. Looked for a long time like the Phillies were going to play them in the first round of the playoffs last year. And then, of course, that all changed after Atlanta lost.
On the outside corner, again, he comes in with that two-seamer. And there's one away, 2 strikeouts for Kendrick. That'll bring Justin Upton to the plate. Well, busy day around the ballpark. We didn't know until the Phillies were taking batting practice that Joe Blanton had been traded. So folks were kind of scurrying around, weren't they, Murph?
Well, they certainly were, and I got a chance to talk to Joe Blanton as he was, working his way out to talk to his teammates about finding out the news. And obviously he's been through this before, and it worked out well for him back in 2008 when he arrived in Philadelphia. But he has mixed feelings leaving the city of Philadelphia. He said the fans in Philadelphia he thinks are the best in baseball, and he's going to miss spending time here in front of these fans. But that being said, he also said when you play baseball at this level, it's all about trying to get to the postseason and maybe win another World Series ring, and he's hoping that with the Los Angeles Dodgers he'll get that chance.
Well, and he will head out to LA sometime in the next 24 hours. I would think slide right into their rotation, which has been hit a little bit with injuries over the last couple of months. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to Justin Upton. That ball has hit a ton. I mean a ton. Man. 1-0 Arizona. That is home run number 9 for Justin Upton. And the scoreless streak for Kyle Kendrick, which coming into this ball game was at 21 innings, ends after a scoreless first, put it at 22 consecutive innings.
To mention how much power they have in their lineup. They're very young, they're very athletic, and Upton has been a disappointment. In fact, his name was bandied around as maybe somebody they would eventually move, but he has tremendous skills. Just really has never had the big year you think he's going to have.
Well, that home run is 9th of the year. It's his 100th career home run, and he has beaten his brother Bossman Jr. to 100 home runs. BJ was sitting at 99 as well.
Well, he'll find out about that quick enough. What's in the deck? Where'd that go? Did that go in the upper deck? Looked like it was headed for it.
It did. It fell just below the upper deck, or the second deck of Harry the K's. Miguel Montero, the hitter, he leads all catchers in RBIs with 64.
This guy has really turned into a good player. Tremendous hitter, as you just said, Tom. About all those RBIs he has. Think about Ruiz having the year he's having. He's well in front of him.
2 balls, 1 strike to count. Phillies trail at 1-0 here in the second. And it's 3-1 to Montero.
Well, he didn't have his streak broken by a paint scraper. Whew.
Last run Kendrick had given up was back on the 28th of June in the first inning against the Pirates. That was a long time. Now the streak included 2 starts. This is the 3rd, and the rest were relief appearances.
Yeah, they don't know how long he can go tonight. Rich Doobie said he hopes 75, 80 pitches. He's not stretched out to start because he's been in the bullpen for quite some time.
Phillies did say they thought B.J. Rosenberg would be here for game time. Opposite way, Dominic Brown is out there.
Well, they're not short a pitcher. They've elected to go with 6 in the bullpen at this point and carry the 3 catchers. And now all of a sudden they're caught in a spot here where they have to have a guy make a spot start. Well, now it's going to be a spot start for Charlie. He's going to be in the rotation is Kyle Kendrick, but you know they don't have an overabundance of pitchers, so they really need Kyle Kendrick to max out the 75, 80 pitches a night in innings.
Well, 2 outs. Here's Chris Johnson. Johnson acquired from the Houston Astros and is 6 for 11 since the Diamondbacks picked him up. And he takes a first pitch strike. It's 0-1. By the way, you know, Murph was talking as Upton hit that home run. You know, Joe Blanton's comments about just what a great place this city was to play was really impressive. You know, Joe doesn't say a whole lot. He's a very good guy. He's worked very hard, but he was overflowing with his compliments for the city, for the ballpark, for the organization, even before his deal to Los Angeles. That ball's hit back toward the middle, off the mound, and the inning is over. 4-3 on the putout. The home run by Justin Upton has given the Arizona Diamondbacks the early lead. It ends the scoreless streak for Kyle Kendrick. This one was a no doubt about it. And it's 1-0 Diamondbacks as we go to the bottom of the second. bottom of the second. Howard, Mayberry, Dominic Brown. Ryan 0 for his last 6. And he takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ryan is 0 for 6 against Ian Kennedy. In his brief time matching up against him. Ryan did not start last night. He did go down on strikes to finish off the ball game. Charlie saying after the game that he felt like Ryan was the best option to try to tie the game last night. Fouls it away. It's 2-1. Two for 19 road trip for Howard. And he lines that one to right. He got a pretty good swing on it, but it sinks right to Upton. And 1 out here in the second. That youngster threw Justin Upton's home run ball back onto the field where he tried to. The ball girl tossed it to the young lady. Then Matt Williams was able to coax the young lady to give it back, and she got a brand new ball because it was his 100th career home run. So everybody worked out. Everybody was happy at the end.
Nice negotiations right there. Very peaceful.
It looked like the young lady was given an autograph because she was looking at her. Her father was looking at it, and it looked like there was some kind of signature on it.
Maybe Upton signed it.
Oh, let's look at the sweet spot. Can you see it? Mayberry lifts it to right, shallow right, playable for Upton. 2 outs. Now 2 away. Let's see what kind of reception Dominic Brown gets. Well, not as loud as the one he got last year. Remember when he came up? Was it last year or the year before?
Yeah, a standing ovation before his first major league at bat. Well, a lot's happened since then. A lot of it hasn't been good for him.
1 for 7 so far.
Great opportunity for him. Going to play a lot.
As we saw last night, he'll be playing against right-handers and left-handers. Last night he played against Ross Detweiler, who stymied the Phils for 7 innings before he gave way to his bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Dominic Brown. Two and 2 the count. Kennedy gets him to foul it back. Wheels mentioned that the initial matchup tonight of Joe Blanton and Ian Kennedy, it pitted 2 guys who don't walk a whole lot of batters. In fact, Joe is the leader in the National League in walks per 9 innings. And the Phillies as a team, as a staff, have walked the least amount in the National League. The Arizona Diamondbacks, well, they're right ahead of the Phillies. They've walked 275 hitters this year. The Phillies have walked 269.
Yeah, and they both work fast. They both throw strikes. Remember the other night when the guy lost his beer?
Yeah.
The guy just got his popcorn knocked out of his hand behind home plate. Dangerous back there. Forget that screen's him.
With a foul ball, it remains 3 and 2. What's next? Nachos?
I don't know. It looked like when the fanatic comes in the booth with popcorn. Not to quite the same extent. There's Kenny, likes to peer over the glove like that. This guy really works quickly.
Ground ball right side off the glove of Goldschmidt. That was hit hard by Dominic Brown. Let's see how they score that. That could be a base hit.
Absolutely could be a hit because that ball was hammered.
Dominic looking up the video board as the play is replayed. And they do score a base hit.
Took a funny hop too. Hit really hard, took Kind of a weird hop, so that's good scoring there.
Base runner for the Phils. Here's Kevin Franzen. 267 so far since his promotion to the majors. Franzen was 4 for 15 on the road trip.
That big home run off Strasburg the other night to get the Phillies off and winging an eventual 8-0 win.
The Phillies took 2 of 3 from Washington. Lost last night 3-0. Had chances. 0-2 as a cutter nipped the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, last night, I mean, all they did was go thud most of the night. That guy Detweiler did a tremendous job.
There goes Brown. Pitches chopped foul. Handled by Juan Samuel. And Brown goes back to first. That's the part of Domonic's game that when he was coming up through the system, you know, that everybody talked about when talking about it, the fact that he was a 5-tool player. He's never really stolen a lot of bases in the minor leagues, but he has the ability to steal a bag. And he dives back ahead of the throw. One and two the count to Franzen. Throw over. Not a big lead for Brown. To the right side. Hill gets a big friendly hop. Phillies do get a base runner, but do not move that runner off first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We've completed 2. It's the D-backs 1 and the Phillies nothing. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wills, the question is, name the only Diamondbacks manager to win 100 games in a season. Answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. You got a couple options for that one, Wills. Top of the 3rd, 1-0 Arizona, thanks to a home run by Justin Upton. And as we go to the 3rd, Chris Young, Ian Kennedy, then Stephen Drew. First pitch to Young is a strike. It's 0-1.
Chris Young's really a good outfielder. You saw that tremendous play he made in the first inning to save an extra base hit and a run. And he has tremendous power, too. The thing with him throughout his career is he just strikes out a lot. And they finally had to get him, I guess, out of the top of the order because of the way his on-base percentage was so low. But he's dangerous.
Yeah, just streaky.
Especially in that ballpark in Arizona, which is really a great hitter's yard.
0-2 the count to Young. And he takes low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But it's a big outfield there, and he can really handle playing outfield, playing center field for Kirk Gibson's team.
Yeah, Kirk Gibson has some issues only because he's got depth in the outfield. As Young pops it up, foul territory. Franzen is in foul territory and under it, 1 away. I say that because Gerardo Parra, pretty good player. You know, he's considered, I guess, the 4th outfielder, so he's trying to mix everybody in between Kubel, between Young, Parra, Justin Upton, guys like that.
Hey, he's got right-handed and left-handed hitters in that mix. You just mentioned 2 and 2, so that helps.
With 1 out, Ian Kennedy is the hitter. Kennedy 2 for 32 on the year. 0-1. Good pitch by Kendrick. Two, another good pitch. Well, that one not so much. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Brian Schneider doing the catching tonight. Carlos Ruiz's foot is you know, it bothers him from time to time.
Yeah, he was going to play tonight, and then was a scratch. He was in the the one that Charlie had put together that he wanted to use tonight, and then told that Carlos couldn't go.
Carlos told Sarge today, no muy bueno. Up and in, 3-2 now to Kennedy. So he worked ahead 0-2, and now he's fallen behind 3 balls and 2 strikes.
What's Sarge say? Does that mean you want chicken? Oh, that's Tango Hombre. I'm hungry.
Chopper to short. Rollins will have time. Tonight on the premiere of Sports Scrapple on the Comcast Network. Relive the Phillies' 2008 World Championship season with the champs, followed by their 2009 year in review, Legends of the Fall. Sports Scrapple, combining all the tasty parts of Philadelphia's rich sports history. Tonight and every Friday night at 10 on the Comcast Network. Check your local listings for TCN.
There's a Philadelphia staple if there ever was one. Scrapple.
I had a fraternity brother in college, Wheels. That was his pledge name, Scrapple. And he had to recite every single night.
Was he from down here?
No, he was from Homedale, New Jersey. His name was Bob Hurley, great guy. But every night he had to recite the ingredients of Scrapple.
Oh.
And every night he knew the ingredients of Scrapple. There's Stephen Drew, who fly to right. Back toward the middle. Nice play by Kendrick. 1-3 on the putout. Phillies get the Diamondbacks in order. On to the bottom of the 3rd we go. Diamondbacks on top by 1. We'll be back. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Nissan Summer Saving Days. Get to Nissan for the biggest savings under the sun. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local Nissan dealer. Last of the third. Brian Schneider, Kyle Kendrick, Jimmy Rollins due up. Phillies have gone 15 innings now without scoring a run since the home run by Nate Schierholtz.
Right, Jimmy Rollins, Schierholtz went back-to-back, fifth inning. Second game of that game, series in Washington, and they haven't scored since.
Brian Schneider returned from the DL a couple days ago. Before he went on the DL, he was 0 for 12, so he's trying to break that streak and get a new one started. 1-2 the count.
This guy's not predictable, to say the least. He'll come at you with all different pitches, and he's around the zone. That's why he won 21 games last year. Nothing overpowering, nothing nasty, just very efficient.
67% fastball. See how he tops off at 89.6. That one was at 90.
Yeah, that might be average, 89.6. I think they'll say he'll go as high as 90, 91, but he's really pushing it when he does that. And you know, it's not that he's going to be real effective when he does it either. He may not have as much movement on his pitches. Some guys are better off like this when they don't hump up and try to throw a velocity type fastball. That's not really their forte, because then they have a tendency to get it in the middle of the plate and they get hurt.
Here's the 2-2. Ground ball to first. Goldschmidt on the glove side. Oh, the Diamondbacks will be here for 2 more days. Tomorrow is a night game. That's 7:05. And then Sunday is a 1:35 start. Good pitching matchup tomorrow. Joe Saunders against Roy Halladay. Sunday, Trevor Cahill against Cliff Lee. Tickets are available for both games. You can check out Phillies.com for more information.
Kenny had a really strange start his last time out against the Mets. He gave up 3 runs in that game. Ike Davis hit 3 straight solo homers off, and that's what he gave up.
Lasted 6 1/3. Well, 7 hits, 9 strikeouts.
Davis hit him in his first 3 at bats, so he was a guy looking there to do that unbelievable feat of not only hitting 4 in a game, but 4 in a row.
Well, Kendrick waited on a curveball and serves it in the center for a base hit.
Kennedy's reaction, like, what? I'd throw him that. Good job by Kyle to put it into play and get a base hit out of it. Watch, he throws a helicopter up there. And what? Look at Kennedy's reaction, like, what am I doing? You know?
And the Fanatic thought it was all about the Fanatic.
It was very good. He enjoyed that.
Fanatic's got a little Olympic theme coming up tonight for his appearance on the field.
Be timely.
Jimmy Rollins, the hitter, with a runner at first. 1-0 Arizona. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. And then they'll play back behind Kendrick. Not necessarily holding him on, but they're in the neighborhood.
Right, and the idea is to take the hole away a little bit for a left-handed batter.
High fastball, 1-1. Rollins has 12 home runs, a second behind Carlos Ruiz. Hunter Pence, who's with the Giants now, of course, was the leader for the Phils. There's a spinner left side, and Drew makes the catch, flips over to first, and he doubles up Kyle Kendrick. Boy, the Phillies are just not running the bases well at all in this game. Second double play of the night. Heck of a play by Stephen Drew to make that catch and then the throw on target to wrap up the third. quality office chairs from Hahn. Delivered and assembled by who? But W.B. Mason. Top of the fourth, 1-0 Arizona. The one run on a home run by Justin Upton. Aaron Hill, Jason Kubel, Paul Goldschmidt are up against Kyle Kendrick. Well, Sarge, just so you're wondering, we were talking about the Scrapple.
Scrapple?
Yeah, because of the show, you know, the new program that's on the Comcast network. And there are the ingredients in the bottom for Scrapple. I was mentioning that I have a fraternity brother whose pledge name was Scrapple, and he had to recite those ingredients every single night as we were beginning our pledge season.
How is that? What does it taste like?
Scrapple? I think Scrapple's good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Some of the ingredients down there. Pork stock, pork livers, pork fat. 120 calories per serving. You never had Scrapple?
Pork snout? No. Just the name Scrapple took me out of that. And I used to have that at breakfast all the time there in Cincinnati. That's one of their bigger dishes there. And they said it's almost like they would say sausage, but it didn't really look right, so I let the Scrapple go.
Well, they must have gotten it from Philadelphia if they were eating it in Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not knocking it. I just, again, the Skyline chili. You like the Skyline chili?
I do. I could, I could live without it if I needed to.
You just don't want to get letters.
I don't mind it. It's not great.
It's too sweet. Come on.
Well, we go to the fourth. All ingredients aside, Aaron Hill will lead it off. He fly to right his first time up. And Hill takes the slider outside. 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Hill, Kubel, Goldschmidt, 2, 3, and 4 for the Diamondbacks, who are 54 and 51. They are 2 games out of first place in the West. It's going to be a heck of a race. The Giants, the Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks, all 3 separated by just 2 games. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. And Hill takes low and away, 2-1.
Now you see on the base running, it's been a couple of miscues. Back in the day, you do that, they'd have you out the very next day, and you would be practicing on, guess what, base running.
That one's straight back and a few feet in front of us, and it drops toward the lower level.
No, they're not hard plays at all. I mean, they're just actually reading the ball, looking at the fielder, looking again at the fly ball, and you have to be able to judge it, to be able to get back. Shouldn't be able to double you off.
You give Kendrick a pass because he's a pitcher, or no?
Absolutely. I don't like to, because they consider themselves regular athletes.
SCHIERHOLTZ was talking to himself a lot after that.
Well, you know what? That's just a no-no. There's no excuse for a regular player not to know exactly how many outs it is at all times.
Hill lifts it to left. Brown on the run. It's going to drop, and it's going to kick into foul territory. And DOMONIC thought about making a play at second, but instead goes toward third. So a double for Aaron Hill, his 25th of the year. So he's in scoring position.
Well, this kid's having a pretty good year there. He hits it off the end of the bat there. It almost looked like might have hit right near that grass area where it just kind of kicks there on the wall. Once that ball moves to the left, again, all you're trying to do is just catch it, keeping it from any other damage, the runner getting to third base.
Well, DOMONIC did a nice job of smothering that and not allowing it to get past him down the left field line. Kubel struck out his first time up. He went down looking. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Kendrick. Ball, no strikes the count. Ball skips into the crowd. It evens up the count at 1-1. think it may have dropped right into that young lady's lap.
Okay, though, that West is still up for grabs, no doubt about it. You know, in all the games become really large, like you mentioned early on.
To center field, Mayberry is out there. Hill is tagging. Mayberry got it. His throw to third, not in time. Really no chance for John to make that play because he had to shift his body a little bit.
Yeah,
ball was hit pretty hard.
Did a good job on that, trying to get around that ball. Got to give Hill credit. As soon as the ball was hit, he did exactly what you needed to do, and that is to get right back to second base, be able to tag up, and then to get to third base with the less than 2 outs. That's just another way you can get a runner over besides that ground ball.
Well, the runner at third and 1 out here in the top of the fourth. The right side is going to play up a little bit. Nope, now Utley's going back. So everybody's going to be back. They'll concede the run up the middle with Goldschmidt, who struck out his first time up. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. It's 0-1.
Yeah, and the reason for that is that if you're playing up, if the ball isn't hit right at you, more than likely it's going to be a base hit. You know, this way you can actually take away the hit. You're going to give up the run, but at least you'll be able to have the out.
Fly ball to left field. Brown going back toward the warning track. He's there, makes the catch. Hill will tag, and the Diamondbacks will lead it 2-0. Sac fly for Paul Goldschmidt. Hill crosses the plate. It's the 54th run batted in of the year for Goldschmidt. I'll give him some credit. He just did his job getting the ball in the air.
No, I talked with Charlie earlier just about sacrifice flies and how many should a particular hitter have playing every day. He said somewhere between 12 and 15 would be about right on sacrifice flies. Now, that doesn't even count your ground balls, just the fly balls in order to get the runner in from third base.
Justin Upton homered his last time up, 391 feet. It takes low, 1-0. Now, would you consider that same number for everybody through the lineup, or just the 3, 4, and 5 guys? I mean,
well,
what would you consider?
Depending on the opportunities that you would have, I think you would have to look at, you know, everybody from 1 to 7, to be quite frank. You know, and I'd take away on the 8th hitter because you have that, again, the pitcher that's hitting 9. So they're not going to just come at you the way they would if it's, say, you're hitting in that 6th position.
Good pitch on the outside corner, 1-2. Kendrick has given up 2 runs now with 2 outs here in the 4th.
Thought Upton was one of those guys that was on the trading block.
There's a liner to left center field. That's going to be a hit. Mayberry will get to it, and Upton's 2 for 2. And you know, Sarge, I think once the Diamondbacks started playing better, they probably realized that, you know, there wasn't as good a hitter or better out there that they could get back, and they figured, all right, let's ride it out for this year. They may still make a change once the offseason hits.
Yeah.
There's a Coors Light cold hard blast, and it is Justin Upton.
Yeah, well, he spanked that ball there in the 2nd inning. Hit that ball a long way. There's your Coors Light cold hard blast.
Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. He has stolen 12 bases. He's been caught 8 times.
Yeah, he's a guy too, though, for me. I mean, hitting in the spot that he is, in that 5th spot, I thought he was more of a 3rd hitter because he does give you that speed.
Foul ball, 0-1. Ball got a piece of Schneider.
Looked like it, didn't it? Yeah, but that 3rd hitter, you want him to be able to hit home runs. Not only that, hit for a little bit of an average. Being able to steal a base when you need it. Certainly he can do that. Seen him hit power with power. Again, should be able to have more than just 9 home runs at this particular point. But just looking at his batting stance, he is wrapping that bat quite a bit.
Now, when you say wrapping that bat, you mean the top of the bat is curling behind the head before he comes through?
Yeah. You know, remember the way that, not exaggerated, the way Julio Franco was, but has that knob of the bat where it's almost pointing back toward the pitcher. Not quite the way that, again, like Julio used to do.
0-2 the count to Montero. Fouls it back.
And then what happens, though, when you have it that far cranked like that, it makes it a little more difficult to try and get the head of the bat there, the good part of the bat there to the balls. You just have a longer way to go. Like that pitch up in there. See if he can come back with that changeup. He's had a pretty good changeup here, I think, so far tonight.
Another foul ball. That looked like it was the changeup.
Yep.
Probably got a little too much to the plate.
Well, that's the reason, you know, he came inside, because he doesn't want him to be as aggressive on the ball that's on the outside corner.
Kendrick's ready. So is Montero. Over toward the hole. Rollins backhands and then kicks it. Upton's thinking about going to third. He's on his way to third, and he'll get there sliding. Well, that could be a hit and then an error charged to Rollins. And Montero's aboard, and there's still 2 outs. An error all the way.
Now, the only play I think he was going to have was going to be there at first base. Take a look at it there as that ball hit in the gap, right in the hole, and then he kicks it by then. Now, watch Upton there. He just keeps on going. He sees that he knows J-Ro's not going to be able to pick that ball up and get him at third base. Not a very good play.
And now they need to get Chris Johnson with runners on first and third. He grounded out his first time up. And he takes a slider for strike one. It's 0-1.
Well, even if he doesn't get the runner there at first, you really want to make sure that Upton at first base couldn't go all the way to third, and that's where he ended up.
Back toward the middle. It's going to sneak into center, a base hit. Another run will score. It'll be an RBI single for Chris Johnson. That'll be an unearned run. And again, the Phillies have already surpassed their total of unearned runs this year from a season ago. And Johnson picks up his 7th hit since being acquired from the Astros and his 8th RBI.
Well, he may have scored from second base anyway if he was there, but that ball hit right up the middle. Take a look at it as he just about catches the ball. Game of inches. If he's on maybe second, maybe he doesn't score, because again, Mayberry showed that he has a pretty good arm and can throw that ball right on the money. At least it would have given him something to think about.
Well, 61 pitches for Kendrick. Rosenberg is warming in the bullpen for the Phillies. And Chris Young is the hitter. And Young takes outside, 1-0 the count. There's B.J. Rosenberg. Just brought back up from Lehigh Valley today. Center field, pretty well hit. Mayberry on the run and is there. Puts it away right on the edge of the track. And then glides into the wall to finish up this 4th inning. 2-run score, 1 earned, 1 unearned. On to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks. By McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is just $1. And by Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Bottom of the fourth inning, Phillies trail it by 3. It'll be SCHIERHOLTZ, UTLEY, and Ryan Howard for the second time against Ian Kennedy, who's allowed 3 base runners so far, but his defense has turned 2 double plays. Not your 6-4-3 variety. One was a fly ball to center that turned out to be a double play over at first. And the other one was a pop up to short that turned out to be a double play at first.
Yep.
Here's SCHIERHOLTZ. And Nate takes a strike. It's 0-1. SCHIERHOLTZ singled his first time up. Inside, 1-1. Tell you, Sarge, I love the look of intensity that he has.
Oh no, he brings
when he's
that.
Out there.
Yeah, he brings that daily, and even when you go up and you talk to him, you could just tell with the eyes.
Rolls over on one of the right side. Goldschmidt leaves it for Kennedy. And that'll bring Chase Utley to the plate. Well, this Sunday, prior to the game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Phillies, along with Citizens Bank and the Roy Halladay Family Foundation, will be hosting the Fans Feeding Families tent event. Roy Halladay's supposed to be there. He's scheduled to appear. He'll pitch tomorrow, so he should be there on Sunday. Greg Luzinski is scheduled to be there, too. Proceeds will benefit local hunger relief efforts as part of the Fans Feeding Families initiative. Limited tickets are available. For information, go to phillies.com/feedingfamilies. Everyone in attendance will receive an autographed Roy Halladay photo card. Here's Chase. He hit one well to center that was tracked down by Chris Young. That turned into the first double play that we talked about. Inside, 2-0.
Pretty lonely feeling when that ball is hit out to one of the fielders and you have forgotten how many outs it was. It's the only excuse he could have. When you get back to the dugout, if you're a coach, the first thing he asks you is, did you let him know how many outs it was? Didn't they have done that?
As the coach or the player or both?
No, just as the coach. Never forgot how many outs it was when I was a player. And it was simple because you had Mays teaching you, and that's one of the things that you had to do was to concentrate and know how many outs it was. Now, in saying that, yeah, I've been picked off on line drive and, you know, taken a step and then have been doubled up. But I'm not going to be sprinting around the bases as if it's an inside the park home run and being called out. Hold up. That's not going to happen.
Chase lifts it foul off to the left and out of play. Did you ever forget it as a coach how many outs there were?
No, I mean, that's your job over there as the first base coach. I mean, every umpire will tell you, you never even get a chance to argue with them when you're over there. They'll tell you, hey, you're just a first base coach. All you tell them is, hey, how many outs and go. Go, go, go.
I don't think Sam Perlazzo is going to be happy with your assessment of what his responsibilities are.
Listen, I coach first base, you know, and I've had guys that have done the same thing. And Dusty would say when you get back, or Davey Loebs, hey.
That ball's hit well, deep to right field. Upton going back, it is gone! Towering solo home run by Chase Utley, and the Phillies are on the board. It took 16 innings since they last scored a run, and their last run was a home run. Chase Utley goes yard for the 6th time this year.
Yeah, well, he takes a lot of pitches, and he's been doing that since he's gotten back. Consequently, the more pitches you see, the easier it is to be able to hit the ball. That's a high fastball out over the plate. Wasn't in the way that he wanted. Chase Utley made him pay for it.
Bobby Price of Philadelphia, you're probably as happy as those two ladies. Because you've just won $200 courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Obviously, she must have called it. Said he's going to hit one right here.
I hope she calls a few more. So 6 home runs now for Chase. Howard takes inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Howard hit the ball well his last time up. $194 home runs now for Chase. Out in front, 1 and 2.
Yeah, and that's exactly what has been going on with Ryan Howard. He's been out in front, and for me, almost leading with his upper half. You know, as opposed when you separate, get back on that back foot. But these are some of the adjustments, though, that Ryan is going to probably just have to endure in coming back. Once he feels comfortable, and it looks like he's getting that way, it'll be a little bit better.
Fought that one off. Shallow center field. Stephen Drew makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. As Ryan moves back to the dugout, John Mayberry will come to the plate. Mayberry fly to shallow right his first time up. Outside corner, and it's 1-1.
Could have been a little low on that pitch. Got to remember, Mayberry standing right about 6'5" or so, even though he is bending down to make himself only 6 foot tall.
They ripped that one to left field. They tried to come inside, and he was able to stay on it for his first hit of the night, the 5th hit for the Phillies. And it gives Domonic Brown a chance to bat with a runner at first base.
That's just good hitting right there. Fastball that he ended up actually turning on, and this is the part of the night too where you get that dust and it's very difficult to see. Can't take anything for granted.
Be the first with breaking news in Philly sports. Get Philly sports when you're on the go, delivered right to your smartphone. Download the free CSN Sports app today. Domonic Brown stands in. Domonic got a base hit his first time up off the glove of the first baseman Goldschmidt. I feel like I ask you this all the time every time we see him. What do you think about the way his stance is? The way he's set up, all those things.
He's made some adjustments. Just looking at him hit early on in batting practice, you can tell that because he's trying to consciously hit the ball the other way. You know, he knows that he can pull, and he knows that he can hit the fastball.
They throw behind Mayberry.
I tell you, somebody else get picked off, I'm sure they're just going to keep on running. Okay? Just keep on running right through the dugout. Don't even shake anybody's hands, and just put on your clothes and go home. Okay? But he's going to be able to hit. The one thing he's going to do is hit. Everybody has talked about that. Charlie said it earlier today there at the cage. I know he's going to be able to hit. You know, can he stay healthy? Well, that remains to be seen. And he's a good enough athlete to be able to play the outfield adequately to be able to be an everyday player. But they're getting every opportunity, and after it's all said and done, No, neither one of those players can say they didn't get the opportunity to see whether or not they could win the job here on the major league level.
Swing and a miss. He went after a pitch that Jim Wolf just called a strike. It might have been a little outside, but he is rung up for the final out here in the 4th inning. Chase Utley, though, puts the Phils on the board and launches his 6th home run. I mean, launched it. This was a towering shot that got 3 or 4 rows back, and it was all because of that young lady right there. Bank Park this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All 3 games are at 7:05. Tuesday is Jewish Heritage Night at the ballpark, brought to you by the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia. Tickets are available at Phillies.com. Make your purchase now. We have a pitching change here at the ballpark. Jeremy Horst will take over for the Phillies. So Kyle Kendrick goes 4. He allows 3 runs. And Horst will pick up here in the 5th. Phillies do have kind of a thin bullpen. They're going with 6 relief pitchers. That's even with Kyle being in the rotation right now. Ian Kennedy will lead it off at 9-1-2 for the Diamondbacks as Horst delivers low and in 1-0.
This Kennedy had himself a pretty good year last year. He's a guy that doesn't throw the ball extremely hard. Fastball anywhere from 88 to about 90. Top it out maybe at 91. You don't want to come in and walk the pitcher.
Toyota Major League scoreboard. There's ball 4. And he does walk the pitcher. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, an update from Tampa. How about that, Sarge? B.J. Upton, maybe 45 minutes after Justin Upton hit his 100th home run, B.J. hit his 100th home run.
That's going to be great talk at the Thanksgiving dinner table in November. It's pretty good, though. Both brothers having 100 home runs and doing it on the same night. How about that?
Probably no way that he knows that either. He's probably going to pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I hit my 100th. And BJ probably says, yes, so did I.
No big deal. And it is a big deal, however, 100 home runs in the major leagues.
Stephen Drew is 0 for 2. He's flied to right. He's grounded out to the pitcher. Phillies trail it by 2. maybe just one inning, and that's it for Horst. He's due to bat third in the bottom of the fifth. Swing and a miss, and one away here in the fifth. That looked like a high slider, but it must have been in the right spot for Drew to swing over. One away. It'll bring Aaron Hill to the plate. Time now for the Major League Notebook, brought to you by Gwynn and Mercy College. Here's Murph. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Well, the Washington Nationals making some move in the market for a veteran catcher, and they got one on Friday, finalizing a trade with the Oakland A's that brings them Kurt Suzuki. They'll send a minor league catcher to Oakland. Manager Davey Johnson said Suzuki will immediately be the starting catcher for the Nationals. And the Cleveland Indians, falling out of contention, they made a move today, and they sent Johnny Damon. They designated him for assignment, so Johnny Damon, after really struggling with the Cleveland Indians, may be finished for his major league career. He's talked about retirement if he doesn't accept that assignment. So we'll keep our eyes on that, guys.
Yeah, it looks like they're cleaning house a little bit, not only with that deal, but also the fact that they let Derek Lowe go. Jeremy Horst gets a 6-4-3 double play to finish up the fifth inning. So after the leadoff walk, he gets the next two hitters, and we're through the top of the fifth. On to the bottom of the fifth, Franzen, Schneider, and Jeremy Horst are due up for the Phils as they trail it by 2. Los Angeles and this ball game, plus reports from Eagles training camp. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota. That's after Phillies post-game live this evening on Comcast Sportsnet. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Phillies down by 2, 3-1. Franzen will lead it off. B.J. Rosenberg is loosening in the bullpen, so it looks like a pinch hitter will hit third for the Phillies as they trail it by 2. There's Rosenberg, just arrived from Lehigh Valley. Kevin Franzen, who will start it off, is grounded out to second tonight. He's 0 for 1. Fouls the first pitch back. You notice that Franzen is not wearing the yellow shoes tonight. I was talking to him today about that, and he said it was just for the month of July. Franzen, John Lester, Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs all wore those shoes with the yellow bottoms, the yellow laces, as part of the Live Strong program. And Kevin was wearing it because of his brother DJ's foundation, the foundation that Kevin and his family started for his brother. Said he will wear them from time to time, but it was really just for the month of July. Remains 0-2.
Well, they were trying to bring in some energy players. This is one of those guys that he's bringing some energy, and you gotta be able to have it. It's very difficult to win and play that many games without having that type of energy.
Yeah, he's outgoing. He obviously loves the fact that he's back in the major leagues.
Oh yeah.
Way outside, 2-2.
Well, sometimes when you're back in the minor leagues, and you'll say to yourself, boy, once I get me another chance, it's going to be, you know, a little bit different. That's why when you're playing and you're up here, you got to hustle every time you're there. Have no regrets.
Well, was hit by a pitch, so he's aboard to start the 5th inning. That's the 10th batter that Kennedy has hit. Schneider's coming up. Pierre's coming out of the on-deck circle.
Wow, this is one that just got away. It's a two-seamer that just keeps running. Hit him in a good spot. Anytime that ball is not up near the head area, it's okay.
Ryan grounded out to first his first time up.
No, and I would think too that not only some of the rookie players, but some of the veteran players who are probably playing for a contract next year to see whether or not they would, you know, be on the team. That's why, again, you just still got to try and win as many games as you possibly can.
You know, and the organization is thinking not only about next year but beyond. Ruben was saying today when he was discussing Joe Blanton's trade, and somebody asked him about Cliff Lee. There was a report that Cliff Lee was claimed off waivers. Ruben said Cliff's not going anywhere. You know, and he even said, he said, you know, the Phillies have put some claims in for some players because they're looking to make themselves better for the rest of this year and beyond. Up high, 3-0. By the way, Sarge, after your consultation with Jay Dunn, the official scorers, you guys were reviewing the play by Miguel Montero. He has changed Montero scoring to a hit, and then still an error for Rollins to allow Upton to go to third.
Yeah, that's for kicking the ball.
Right.
And again, the play would have been the second if there had been somebody actually say.
This is what Sarge was breaking down with Jay Dunn, who's been scoring for a long time.
You can see that ball, the only play he was going to have would have been to first base.
Or second, and nobody was covering second.
Yeah, I don't even know, though, if he would have been able to beat that throw with BJ running.
I agree. With Justin, I agree with that. Oh,
I'm sorry, with Justin.
Sorry about that, Sarge. Murph almost had a souvenir. I just noticed it down on the field. Nobody's covering second right there. That's what Jay thought, where the Jay thought the play was going to be. And Upton goes to third on what is Jimmy's error.
Yep.
3-2 the count to Schneider after Murph bobbled that foul ball down the first base line. Outside, ball 4.
Huge.
And now Pierre will come back. Martinez will come up as the pinch hitter.
Yeah, and I think the reason that he did this, though, Tom, was just to bunt the ball, and he didn't want to just waste Pierre to bunt, even though Juan Pierre is probably a much better bunter. Martinez just have to concentrate. This is part of the game that the smaller guys that aren't able to hit the ball out of the ballpark, they have to be able to get the ball down and bunt the ball when the manager says bunt. And it's just no excuse for it.
Martinez squares, bunts in the air, and it's 0-1.
why when you're in batting practice and you're doing your drills, you actually practice the way that you're going to be during the game. Now that bunt right there, he just needs to get that bat head on top of the ball as opposed to there on the side. Once you see him jab at the ball, that ball can go up in the air. To get it on the ground, you need to get that bat on top of the ball. There you go.
And that's a good bunt. Kennedy off the mound makes the play. The sacrifice is successful. The Phillies have second and third with one man down. Oh, good job by Michael Martinez.
Yep.
The putout goes 1-3.
He's getting congratulations there. Charlie telling him, now look how he has it right on top of that the ball there, and that's how he can get the ball on the ground. Good job.
Well, now the Diamondbacks are giving the Phillies a run here with runners on second and third. Rollins is up. Infield is back. The only one that's in is the third baseman, Chris Johnson.
Well, you take anything except for maybe a line drive right at one of the fielders or a ball back to the pitcher. Obviously, you don't want to strike out or pop up, but should be able to drive that ball out in that outfield someplace.
Rollins' numbers since the 19th of May with runners in scoring position. Two and 0.
Tough pitch to lay off of, and he did that. He should be zoning in on the pitch that he wants to hit. If he's looking fastball there, then that's what you go after, not the changeup, not the breaking ball.
SCHIERHOLTZ is on deck.
I think he has to hit.
Rollins, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Ball four. The bases are loaded. Second walk of the inning. Charles Nagy is the pitching coach, a guy that Charlie told me today he's extremely proud of. They're going to get somebody up and warming in the bullpen. Nagy's going to come out and talk to his right-hander who's thrown 80 pitches. Has one out here in the fifth. Charles Nagy played for Charlie Manuel with the Cleveland Indians. Was part of the one team that lost to the Marlins in the World Series. Charlie and I were walking in from the bullpen today. We were taping some interviews for his TV show, and he said, "You know, I'm really proud of that guy. I mean, really." Said for everything he accomplished as a player. Mike Zagorski, the former Phil, is starting to throw in the pen for the Diamondbacks.
Well, he looks like maybe he'd be getting ready for Utley and Howard. See what he does with SCHIERHOLTZ.
SCHIERHOLTZ is 1 for 2. A base hit will score 1. Depending on where it is, it might score 2. Schneider's the runner at second. Franzen's over at third. Rollins at first. And they play the infield for 2. Outside, 1-0.
Becomes more and more predictable. That was a off-speed pitch, but it becomes more predictable the more balls that he throws. Well, for a hitter, you can zone right in on what you're trying to hit.
Now, he's thrown 6 in a row out of the zone. Do you take if you're SCHIERHOLTZ?
I'm taking. I'm going to make him throw a strike because I'm hoping that I'll get that same pitch again. Some of the guys these days don't do that. They're horned in on what they're trying to hit. For example there, but if you're going to swing, the one thing you want to do is you don't want to be late when it's in this area. And he was just a tad late. Want to be short and quick to the ball.
Bases loaded, 2 balls, 1 strike the count to SCHIERHOLTZ. To left field. That'll get the run home, or at least it should. Kubel is under it, makes the catch. The throw goes to the cutoff man. Franzen scores. Sac fly for SCHIERHOLTZ, and it's a 1-run game.
Good job. Brings them 1 run closer.
I think it also keeps Kennedy in the game for Utley. The fact that he has the second out, they'll let him pitch to Chase, who homered against him his last time up.
Well, he gets a little bit of respect for that year that he had last year. 21-4.
Yeah, he finished 4th in the Cy Young voting, even with the 21-4 record and a 2.88 earned run average. Utley ready, and he lines one foul. He's right on him.
Well, they expected him to do a little bit better than that 9-8 record coming into this game. It's right about 500. So, well, again, though, he doesn't throw very hard. 88 to about 90, 91. But you don't have to throw hard. Yeah, hit your spots and you can win ball games. Always a little tougher, though, and you expect it to win those ball games as opposed to it just being a surprise.
Chase Utley drafted in the first round out of UCLA. Ian Kennedy drafted in the first round by the Yankees out of USC. Utley's had 2 good swings against him tonight. One a fly out to deep center, the other a home run. Now waiting for the 0-2. Outside, 1-2.
Almost tried to quick pitch him a little bit as the bat was actually going back. Sometimes those pitchers catch Utley where he's got to kind of maybe rush to the ball. I've always thought if you could look at it a little bit longer, you'll have a little bit better success. He's okay there. He's quick inside, isn't he?
Sure is.
I mean, you throw that ball in and almost with no effort, he's able to get to that ball. Those are the things that has that pitcher thinking about whether or not I should be coming inside for a strike or not. That's how, as a hitter, you tell him that you better be keeping that ball away.
Montero's going to go out and chat again with Ian Kennedy. Phillies, by the way, are a half game out of getting out of the basement because of the Marlins lost tonight in game 1 of their series to the Nationals. Miami's trailing in game 2, 1-0 in the 3rd. So a Phillies win, and this at bat could go a long way in deciding whether they get a win. If the Phillies win here tonight, they're going to clean out their stuff and get out of the basement. Utley against Kennedy. 2-2 the count. Ground ball foul.
Now there's a good indication there, and having 2 strikes that you're in the mode where you're trying to protect the plate as opposed to having 2 balls. A pitch like that, you can just let it go by. Any ball that's close, you almost want to be swinging.
He's walked 2 of the inning. He's hit a batter. This is the 8th pitch of this at bat coming to Chase Utley with Schneider at second, Rollins at first. And now the runners will be off. Schneider will have an even better chance to score on a base hit. Off on the crack of the bat, off on the pitch before the crack of the bat.
Now, if he doesn't fall back, I mean, he's got to be able to score. I mean, no matter where that ball is hit, if it's in the outfield.
The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball right side. Hill charges, has it, flips, and the inning is over. So the Phillies do get one without a hit. The sac fly by SCHIERHOLTZ, the only RBI. They leave two. We go to the sixth, and it's a one-run game. Season. With rumors swirling at the trade deadline, Cliff Lee remained a Philly, and he took the mound in Washington ready to perform. He dominated the Nationals lineup for 7 shutout innings, allowing just 5 hits for his second win of the season. Cliff delivered from the mound. He delivered at the plate. He notched his second stolen base of his career, and it's all brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Changing the game. Well, Sarge, the Olympic Games are taking place over in London.
Yeah.
And tonight, Rex Ronald, a 1984 bronze medal winner, I can't even say with a straight face,
Why?
is here at the ballpark tonight. As you can see, he's got some security.
It's Secret Service, though, Tom. That's what they call it.
I wasn't sure if he would have Secret Service contingent. And right about there is what Dan Baker announced that Rex was an Arizona Diamondback fan.
Rex Ronald is also an Arizona Diamondbacks fan.
That's not going to fly.
No, not with the fans here.
Or the Fanatic itself. So he douses Rex Ronald with a bucket of water.
Consequently.
And the flame didn't go out.
No, it's a very durable flame. And the Fanatic then took the torch and started running around the stadium.
Oh, boy.
Well, Rex has had an illustrious career. It's come to that. Well, we go to the top of the 6th inning. It's a 3-2 game, and B.J. Rosenberg, who was scheduled to start tonight for Lehigh Valley and then was summoned to Philadelphia, is on for the Phils. And he fires a strike. It's 0-1.
It's another good thing, and having that AAA club so close that
absolutely
you can get players here and just noticed.
Well, when B.J. Rosenberg was here the last time, it was when the Phillies were involved in interleague play. I was talking to Rich Doobie about him, and he said he thought at the time, Rosenberg was working out of the bullpen,
yep,
that B.J. could be put into the starting rotation, and probably had enough stuff to become a starter. Had to adjust a couple things. Goes after Kubel with a high fastball at 95 and gets him for the first out. One away here in the 6th.
Well, that's a real good fastball, to say the least. Rising a little bit.
Rosenberg started 14 games last year for Reading, was 5-7 overall, 4.28 earned run average. And although he was scheduled to start for Lehigh Valley, he is working from the stretch. And he fires strike one at 96. It's 0-1.
Those are the kind of guys that we like on our side. Throwing 95, 96 down by the knees. Consistency, however, is the name of the game.
You know, another guy who is opening up some eyes, well, he has opened them up all year, is Tyler Cloyd. Picked up his 11th AAA win yesterday. Helped out by Sebastian Baez's first AAA hit. It was a game winner. Cloyd now 11-1. He started the year in AA, and he's had one of the best years in minor league baseball. But he's with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Outside, 3-1. Toyota Major League Scoreboard. Astros and Braves are battling in Atlanta. It's 2-0 Braves. Chipper Jones, a double, 2 RBIs, has now hit safely in 27 of 31 games. Ball's hit to short, eats up Rollins, has time, throws to first, 2 outs. Chipper did a nice job. That ball was hit hard.
Woo. Top spin on it. And what he does good about that play, he keeps that ball right out in front. When you're able to do that, you can see exactly where it is to be able to throw the runner out. See how he kept the ball right out in front? You know he has something to throw with. Ball a step and a half.
2 away for Justin Upton, who homered earlier. His brother homered later for the Rays. Each hit their 100th home run tonight. That's the 13th time in their big league career that the two have homered on the same day.
Well, when you take a look at his bat, you can see how close it is to the chest area. And he has a little bit of a wrap there. See that wrap there? That takes a long time to be able to get that bat right back to the zone.
10-pitch inning for B.J. Rosenberg. Sets down the Diamondbacks in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and some of the big guys are coming up. Ryan Howard, John Mayberry, and Dominic Brown when we return. Safety picks than any other brand. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. Buy Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. Buy Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. And buy Honda. Visit your Honda dealer right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. B.J. Rosenberg, pretty quick 6th inning. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Phil's down by 1, looking for some offense. Ryan Howard will lead it off. He's 0 for 2.
Like the way he's taking those particular pitches. Again, let's see if he's going to be aggressive on a fastball that might be away.
One away here in the 6th.
Just a little bit anxious up there. That's again a pitch that when you're ahead in the count, you can take that pitch. Not the pitch that he's actually looking for. He shook off from inside to throw this pitch here that's outside. You can see how Howard was kind of reaching for the ball a little bit. And then that swing will come back a little bit quicker once he's able, that same pitch, if you're going to swing at it, to hit the ball the other way.
Charlie said today, I don't know if you agree with this, Sarge, that Ryan and Chase have basically been back for the same amount of time, give or take a week or so.
Yeah.
But he feels like Chase probably had more time to see pitches during his rehab, and is such a different hitter that he feels like he's back a little sooner than Ryan Howard is.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me.
John Mayberry trying for 2 will get there sliding. That is good aggressive base running right there.
Well, you want an everyday job, those are the type of things that you got to do. That ball, not a conventional double. That double started from home plate. As Mayberry, boy, I tell you what, this is getting on top of it right here. Take a look at it. He smokes that ball right in the center field. You can see how Young coming back. Now he starts that from second base. Now watch how he gets in there. Just nice little slide there. Safe at second. Safe and secure with New York Life.
See if Dominic Brown can bring him home. Phillies have left 3 in the last 2 innings. They've scored a run in each of the last 3 innings.
No, and not so much going on the hits. Yeah, the hits are great. But your setup and how hard you're hitting the ball, that's what it's all about, especially for Mayberry and along with Dominic. No, they are getting the chance to be able to play, and they're not going to be judged on stats, home runs. They're going to be judged on the way they go up there and the way they're playing the game in defense.
Ball's hit toward left center field. Young will get out there. It was down toward the end of the bat. With 2 outs, here's Kevin Franzen, who was hit by pitches last time. Want to add to your Phillies game experience? Pre-game party areas for groups of 20 or more are perfect for entertaining family, friends, or business associates. Variety of party areas to choose from. For information, call 215-463-5000 and ask about pre-game parties at Citizens Bank Park. Or you can always go to Phillies.com. Franzen's 0 for 1. He's grounded out to second, hit by a pitch and scored. Trying to bring home John Mayberry.
Hey, with so many games at home this month, this is the time for them to really show that they are going to be able to come back and play good baseball. You're playing these ball clubs that have a chance to not only win their division, but also looking at that wild card, they're going to come in with a lot of energy. So you're going to have to match that energy in order just to be able to make sure you're playing with that particular club. And Arizona, to be quite frank, is one of those clubs.
Yeah, they're playing much better lately. And that's why they're back in the race for the National League West title. Trying to stay alive. He just punches it foul. So Franzen remains alive with the count 1-2.
Yeah, got to zone him down. Not a pitch he wants to swing at, though. Beats that pitch down near the belt area.
Lindblom starts to long toss and get himself ready. Just in case the pitcher's spot comes up in this inning.
We have 2 out base hit, clutch base hit.
Down the right field line and out of play. Almost full uniform, he made that catch.
Well, you know, these fans take a lot of pride in catching the ball when they go in the stands, and unfortunately the ones that don't catch it end up getting booed.
They all want to be part of the fans' plays of the year.
That'll get your attention. Take a look at it. That's why you bring your glove. And tell you what, he
realize he flipped over the seat like that.
Gets a few more points for that.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count to Frandsen. Looper to right field. Here comes Upton, and he can't get it. Plays it on a hop. Mayberry coming home. Throw to the plate. Out at the plate. Oh, boy, it looked like he got his foot in. Justin Upton threw a seed from right field. Charlie Manuel was coming out to argue. Montero was up. Mayberry slid toward the back, and it looked like he got his foot in before the tag. But Jim Wolf calls him out. Here's the throw. Watch where Montero is. Watch where the tag took place. And John Mayberry coming in aggressively. He was safe. That's a shame. Called out. The inning is over, and the Phils trail it by 1.
Well, here's our game summaries. If you go to that last highlight we showed you, it should be tied, but it isn't. It's 3-3. Phillies had a run on that play, but the play was missed at home plate. Chase Utley with a solo home run tonight. Justin Upton, 100th career home run, and just for good measure, his brother hit one later for his 100th. And that was a nice play he just made. He did a heck of a job. I was watching him. He kept cheating in. Every time Franson would foul a ball off. Here's a good slide by Mayberry, and he beats his play. You know, I mean, it's just not even close. But
not even close.
It's one of those things. But you got to give Upton some credit there, too, because, as I said, I was watching him when Franzen kept fouling those balls off shallow right field. He kept cheating in a little bit, figuring, well, I'm not going to let him hit. He's not going to hit over my head. I'm going to take a hit away in front of him. He made a nice play on the short hop, a strong throw, but oh well.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Montero. The shame of it is, you know, Mayberry, obviously with 2 outs, was going on the crack of the bat, and he made it. I thought he made a very good slide. He was away from the plate.
He beat the play.
Yeah, he beat it.
But he didn't.
One ball, 1 strike the count to Montero. Swing and a miss. Rosenberg, that fastball was at 93. His fastest fastball was 96 in the last inning.
Well, we saw him that briefly when he was up before. And he can throw really hard. He just has to keep it out of the middle of the plate because they'll hit him. Got hurt on a breaking ball for a home run in Baltimore earlier this year in an extra inning game.
1-2 the count to Montero. Got him on the inside part of the plate, 96 miles an hour. And 1 away here in the 7th. Second strikeout for Rosenberg.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball really hard. And, you know, that one's up just enough. You don't want to down it into a left-handed hitter. You get it up a little bit more, and they don't like it as much.
Chris Johnson, who was 1 for 2 at an RBI single his last time up. Fly ball, shallow center field. Utley is out there. He's calling everybody off, but Mayberry got there as well. It's his ball, 2 outs. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Chris Young's 0 for 2.
A lot of fastballs is Rosenberg.
Takashi Saito warming in the bullpen.
I figure Kennedy would be finished after that, and his uniform's been soaking wet since the 3rd inning. You can really tell with these gray uniforms.
Slider for a strike, 1-1.
It's a good breaking ball. Guy has a power arm. It's just a matter of whether he can harness it and pitch up here in situations, get major league hitters out. Good tonight. 6-12 there. It's down. And, you know, you throw it there and on the outside part of the plate at that velocity, you can compete.
Two pitch coming. And a called strike 3. Came back with a slider on the inner half. 3 strikeouts for B.J. Rosenberg. He has faced 6, retired all 6. Time to stretch here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies down by 1 when we return. D-backs manager to win 100 games in a season?
Well, I don't know, but I'm going to guess that their championship season will go with Bob Brenly.
Bob Brenly is a good guess. It's incorrect.
Who was it?
They haven't had many managers. This guy was their first one.
Oh, their first one was Buck Showalter.
There you go. Buck Showalter won 100 games in 1999.
Wow.
Log back on. I thought the same thing. I said, wow.
Forgot about that.
I said it to myself, though, when I was reading the question.
Yeah.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing. Wills, thanks for playing. Dodge Stump the Fence.
Well, they sold a lot of those guys off after that, the first couple years.
Takashi Saito is the new pitcher. Brian Schneider takes a pitch low, almost as if Montero had no idea what was coming. Lance Nix is coming out to pinch hit with Antonio Bastardo warming up in the bullpen. Schneider takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Saito, the veteran, takes over for Kennedy, who at this point is the pitcher of record on the winning side. Oh, Brian will take his place over at first.
And earlier hit bats and Francis got hit with a changeup. Saito's going to throw a lot of off-speed stuff. I don't know. That may have been a fastball. Nailed him right in the thigh.
Yeah, I think that was a fastball.
Yeah. He looked like he was trying to run it back over the plate, and all he did was run it right into his leg.
Budweiser, through the Walk-Off the Hero program, will donate $5,000 to Folds of Honor for every Phillies walk-off win. Please join Budweiser and the Phillies in honoring those who keep our nation safe and free. Antonio Bastardo is warming in the bullpen. Juan Pierre will now pinch hit instead of Lance Nix with nobody out here in the bottom of the seventh. Is this a bunting situation?
It could be, except for Brian Schneider. He's not a fast runner. He's certainly not after getting nailed on the thigh. So if they are going to bunt it, Pierre is one of those guys who can bunt it so perfectly he could get him over. But if you bunt it too hard, you got to play.
Pierre on the year, 312 hitter, home run, 19 RBIs. 344 career hitter against the Diamondbacks. And he bunts toward third. That's a spinner, and it's a good one. Johnson throws him out. That was a really good punt.
Well, you and I've talked about it so many times over the years, how you see him practicing that before games, and that's exactly what he'll do. He'll bunt after bunt after bunt, and that when he put backspin on, he liked to land the ball on the green like that. He has great back control. He's not showing it now. Here the hands slide up, and however he did it, he put a lot of backspin on that thing. So instead of it rolling hard at the third baseman, it's spinning back, and very easily for Brian Schneider to get the second. Nice job by Juan Pierre again.
Well, the Phillies have a runner in scoring position now for Rollins. Rollins 0 for 2. Rosenberg's night is done. He did a nice job. 6 up, 6 down for B.J. Rosenberg. Rollins hits one back above our heads. Somebody made a really good catch. You just don't see many foul balls going back up there.
No. Bush did a good job tonight too in the bullpen. Kyle Kendrick did his job through 4 innings, gave up the 1 unearned run. Trying to get out of the way of that. Tough to score Brian from second base now, especially with just 1 out, because you're not going on the crack of the bat.
Same pitch. This time Jimmy was able to back away.
Looks like he's trying to crowd him. He should throw a lot harder. But, you know, he still has good stuff, and he's tricky. He'll throw a good slider, change up, which is like a fork ball. In the States for a while. Now he's 42 years old. Wow.
Chris Johnson will take care of Rollins. Amazing how many times that's happened this year.
Yeah, we ran a brawl, either a breaking ball or cut or something hard. He ran it. Mentioned how he was trying to crowd him the whole at bat, and he finally got him out. He just stayed in on him with either fastball, slider, or cutters, whatever they were. Here you get a look here from the center field camera. Probably a slider, and it was running in on him a little bit and popped it up.
So 2 outs for SCHIERHOLTZ. SCHIERHOLTZ is an RBI and a sac fly. Phillies down by 1. They really have threatened tonight. Number of innings, and they've just got the 2 runs to show for it.
Play at the plate where they may have had one. Didn't get it. Now Brian Schneider can run on the crack of the bat. He'll help a little bit. Help Juan Samuel in the decision on whether he has any chance to score him. Good arms in right and left and center and right field. Although Upton's really deep, really deep.
It's surprising he's that deep.
He's been an enigma out there his whole career because he has such great tools. But you know, he's missed a lot of balls over the years. He's misplayed them.
Schneider leads off second. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to SCHIERHOLTZ. Another pop up. Foul territory. Johnson's over, and he'll make the catch. Phillies do threaten again. They do not score. A couple pop ups wrap up the 7th inning. 7 in the books. On to the 8th here in Philadelphia with the Phillies down by 1 to the D-backs. Or visit ChevyDealer.com. Buy Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling. By AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. Well, we're through 7. Fanatic doing a little dancing on the dugout with a very cute young lady. The Fanatic had to keep up with her. She didn't have to keep up with the Fanatic.
Some energy there.
Antonio Bastardo will take over for B.J. Rosenberg. Kyle Kendrick with the first 4. He allowed the 1 run on the home run. He allowed 2 runs in the 4th. good job, and then the bullpen took over from there. Horst and Rosenberg, 3 scoreless innings.
Trying to keep it where it is. They have David Hernandez up in the bullpen, a real hard throwing right-hander, and they like the game at this point to the Diamondbacks because their bullpen's been really good, especially at the back.
Stardo will face John McDonald, who is going to be the pinch hitter. It'll be McDonald in the top of the order as Kirk Gibson adjusts his lineup card. Charlie Manuel loves him some John McDonald. He's liked this guy ever since they were together in the Cleveland Indians organization. Just loves his defense more than anything else.
Yeah, he's evidently always been a pretty good utility player and a good clubhouse guy.
Slider for ball 1. Donald began his career with the Indians. He's starting to bounce around some. 2-0 the count. Strike at the knees, 2-2. Fastball from Bastardo. Josh Lindblom is warming in the bullpen for the Phillies. Two the count. Foul ball off to the right. Phillies have 2 more chances offensively. They're just trying to keep this at a 1-run deficit. Popped him up. Ryan Howard backs up a little bit in foul territory. 1 away. Top of the order is due up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. He's got a report. Murph.
All right, T-Mac. Yeah, we'll check in down on the farm. We'll check in on Ethan Martin, who's the right-handed pitcher the Phillies got in the deal with Shane Victorino. Made his Reading Phillies debut tonight. 6 innings pitched. He allowed just 4 hits, 1 walk, and he struck out 6. The Reading Phillies are leading that game 4-1. And guys, the scouting report on this guy is pretty good. He throws the ball hard, between 93 and 95. He's got a good curveball. The key is control for him. Walks a lot of batters per 9 innings, but that's what they're going to work on. But the scouts really like this guy, so maybe he can help the Phils down the road.
Yeah, Josh Lindblom, who came over in the deal too, who was drafted the same year as Ethan Martin, said he knows him very well, and he gave a glowing report.
Yeah.
And discussed the same things, Murph. He said that he's gotten better as the years have gone on. And tonight, that's a great start.
Sure. Yeah, he's just 23 years old, so obviously he's young. They can work with him. And his walks per 9 innings last year were in the 6s, about 6.7. It's down to about 4.7 this year, so he's moving in the right direction. They'd like to see that number come down a little bit more, obviously, but he does throw the ball hard, and he gets a lot of strikeouts compared to those walks, so that's good news as well.
All right, so that's good news. Tommy Joseph, who was acquired from the Giants in the Hunter Pence deal, coming into tonight's ball game for Reading. He had been 4 for 7 in his first 2 games. So good early returns for the Phillies. Ground ball to shortstop. Drew runs okay even with that sore ankle. Ball kind of rolled up the glove a little bit on Jimmy Rollins. 2 outs. Joseph, by the way, tonight for Reading 1 for 3, so 5 for 10 in his first 3 games. Yeah, and
they lead. There's Hernandez, who mentioned will be coming into the game. They lead in the 9th inning. I guess so. It was 6-1, whatever it was a decent lead where you pick up that win in your first start for the Reading Phillies.
Aaron Hill is 1 for 3. He's flied out, doubled and scored. Headed to a double play in the 5th. strike from Bastardo. A lot more sliders, isn't he? Seems
like, well, his fastball's 90 to 91 right now, and that's way down from, not way down, but you know, he used to be a 94, maybe a 95 guy.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard, an update from what's going on down in Washington. They lead Miami 1-0. Game's at the top of the 6th. They took game 1. Washington did 7-4.
Lombardozzi led off that game with a triple and scored, and that's been the game to this point.
I think game 1, I think Lannon won that game for them, didn't he?
Well, he was coming up to pitch one of the games.
0-2 pitch coming to Hill. Up high, 1-2.
They could have the 26th player tonight.
Lannon did pitch game 1. Nice play by Sammy to give that young fan a souvenir. Game 1, Lannon went 6 innings, allowed 3 earned runs. One and 2 the count to Aaron Hill. And the pitch from Bastardo. And on the outside corner, he got him. A 1-2-3 inning. Phillies bullpen tonight has 3 straight 1-2-3 innings. We move to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Phils down by just 1 with Chase Utley due to lead it off. One is 7:05 is the Wall of Fame night brought to you by Toyota. Game number 2 is Toyota Alumni Night here at the ballpark. A lot of the Phils and Loves coming back to see the ballpark, see the fans. Get your tickets for that 3-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals right now by heading to Phillies.com. Back in the 4th inning, Chase Utley. This was a towering shot, Wills.
Yeah, that thing was way up in the air. Didn't know for a while. Upton went to the wall and then a couple rows deep for a home run for Chase.
And for that home run, each one hit by the Phils. One tree will be planted for the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. For more information, visit Phillies.com/red goes green. David Hernandez, the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks.
Throws everything pretty hard. Fastball, slider. Done a good job for him when he came over from Baltimore.
In the Reynolds deal.
Look at the strikeouts. 65 and 45 innings. That's a way to get a game over with. They can bring puts, and after that to close, and he's a strikeout guy too. That's just what you want at the end of a game nowadays, the way the sport's played. Guys that strike people out and nothing can happen.
2-0 the count to Utley. 3-0. Ripped down the right field line, just foul. Oof. The ball was scorched.
Yeah, he crushes this ball. Shame he can't keep it fair. The fastball just hooks it a little bit. You see Goldschmidt giving him the body language there, and it's pretty well foul at that point. Right on the nose.
Now it's back full. 3-2 to Utley. 1 for 3 in the game. His one hit is the home run. And ball 4.
3-2 breaking ball.
Boy, that was surprising with Howard on deck.
Really, that was a knee locker right there too. And I think Chase had a good look at it, or else he was just, I don't know what I can do with it. Watch this thing. After he throws 96 fastball and you hook it foul, he comes with that thing. Yeah, I think he did see it pretty well. You know, it looked like he saw it and just figured, well, you know, I can't hit it, so I might as well hope it's outside. I'm going to go to first.
Chase is aboard for the second time tonight. Another walk for Chase. And just keeps on walking. They have 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond for Howard.
Yeah, there's some good things there. As you say, he keeps walking. He's hooking a lot of balls foul, which means he's not where he wants to be. When a guy hooks a lot of balls foul like that, they're out front, and he can't quite stay back the way he wants to eventually. You know, he's always had ability throughout his career not to do that stuff, hit the ball out of the glove with that little short swing of his and drive it really well. When you're hooking balls like that, that means you're just, you know, you just can't wait as long as you want.
Howard fouls it off to the left and out of play.
They're going to play their infield defense with 3 guys over there. You know, they'll take a double play if they can get it, but more than anything, they want an out and have Howard on base. See the way they're set up. Johnson way over. They're playing shortstop as a third baseman.
Howard hits it the opposite way. On the run is Kubel over toward the corner, and he gets there. I thought maybe that ball would have enough slice on it to get away from Kubel. And Utley goes back to first. 1 away. Time now for the Coors Light freeze can.
Yeah, I think he's still going to be safe, but he's going to be out. It's a heck of a play out here by Upton. Franson loops it in there. Mayberry running with 2 outs, and he beats the play, but he's called out by Jim Wolf. Here's the freeze frame right there from Coors Light, and he beats it easily. Yeah, but good slide, as you said at the time. Didn't get the call.
Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. 1 away here in the 8th. Utley's on first. Creeping off that bag. They throw over.
Hernandez's times are really good. I think it's kind of hard to run on him. A combination of his times and his heart as he throws.
Chase just said something to Ron Culpa. I don't know if it was something about the move.
He had a lot of towards home plate, it looked like, before he threw over there, and that may have been what he was saying.
understand that this is probably going to be part of the fans' plays of the year. I say that only because look how crushed his cup is and the reaction to the crowd. Take a look. Oh, it's like going down the log flume. Everybody got a bad. Oh, 0-1 the count to Mayberry.
What if those people next to him think it's funny?
I don't know if they do. I don't even know if they know who he is. I think he was in the other suite. He hurt his hand.
I know, he said.
Slider for a strike, 0-2.
Phillies had the leadoff man on 3 of the last 4 innings. 1 of them they scored. Still have a shot here.
Try to come back inside with the slider. 1-2. Well, they've left 5 in the last 4 innings, even though they scored a run in the 4th, run in the 5th. Had the runner thrown out at home in the 6th. One-two count. And Mayberry is down on strikes. 2 outs.
Hard slider. Throws fastball in the mid-90s and throws this 83 biter right there. That will make a lot of right-handed hitters exit early.
Dominic Brown has a hit tonight in 3 official at-bats.
Playing no doubles in the outfield.
But after a high fastball, and the shortstop Stephen Drew is under it. So the Phillies get the leadoff batter aboard for the 2nd straight inning, but cannot reproduce the tying run. This is a heck of a catch by this fan. He got everybody wet to his left. He's all ecstatic. So is she. We go to the 9th. Plenty of opportunities to enjoy Phillies baseball with games this month of August, including the next 2 against the Arizona Diamondbacks tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon, plus games against the Braves, the Cardinals, the Reds, the Nationals, and the Mets. Toyota Alumni Weekend is next weekend when the Cardinals come to town. Plan now for great summer baseball. Well, it's amazing to think we're already in the month of August. Head to Phillies.com and purchase your tickets. Josh Lindblom into the ball game for the first time here at Citizens Bank Park as a member of the Phillies. 2-2 on the year. A 3 earned run average in 49 games. This will be number 50. Try to pick up where Bastardo and Rosenberg and Horst left off in relief of Kyle Kendrick.
When the Dodgers were here for that 4-game sweep back in early June, he pitched 2 innings. He was in 2 of those 4 games, pitched 2 innings, and gave up 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no runs in the 2 innings.
Well, he'll face Kubel, Goldschmidt, and Upton. Now the sellout here tonight, number 255 in a row, a remarkable streak. Kubel's 0 for 3. Oh boy, he's 1 for 4. That ball is crushed. Wow. Second deck over the AT&T sign. His 23rd home run of the year. 73 runs batted in.
We're talking about how hot he's been with the bat and hitting home runs, and boy, that's a long one. That's a get ahead first ball fastball, look like. So his first pitch in a Phillies uniform in this park goes a long, long way. A fastball out over the plate, and bam.
Goldschmidt takes a slider for a strike. It's 0-1. I'll tell you, the ball was thrown back by a fan and came all the way back to the Phillies dugout.
Impressive.
Yeah. I'll tell you, that ball was hit back just in front of us, and you heard the bang on the wall.
That sounded like hit one of those signs.
I think it may have. Swing and a miss. He got him with a slider. One out here in the 9th. Upton 2 for 3. Hit his 100th career home run his first time up. Slider over to third. Nice big hop for Franzen. Well, 2 gone now for Montero. Looking ahead to the Phillies' bottom of the 9th. The bottom of the order is due up with a pinch hitter for Lindblom.
And a tough customer coming into the game. He's really come back from serious arm problems after being a major disappointment the year the Mets signed him. They really thought they had done a heck of a job with their bullpen, and it just didn't work out.
Montero's 0 for 3. Fly ball right center field. SCHIERHOLTZ and Mayberry are over. It's Mayberry who's under it. So Lindblom gives up the home run to start the inning to Jason Kubel, but then gets the next 3 hitters. Now as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, J.J. Putz is coming in for the Diamondbacks. They're up by 2. for Chris Coast as he recaps tonight's ball game between the Phils and the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's presented by KIRK Auto Insurance, and it's coming up right after the ball game. A ball game that will feature a bottom of the ninth inning where the Phils are down by 2. J.J. Putz, the closer for the Diamondbacks, is on to face Kevin Franzen. Then it looks like Ty Wigginton will come out and pitch hit. And then the pitcher's spot, which means another pinch hitter. Puts his numbers 1 and 4, 3.71 earned run average. Which do be talking to Josh Lindblom, who gave up the home run. We've got the next 3 hitters. The night started with Kyle Kendrick making a spot start. He went 4 innings, allowed 3 runs.
Well, looked like his game plan was to come in, throw a first ball fastball, and get ahead of guys probably taking. That was disrupted.
Franzen tonight is 1 for 2.
Putz is going to come in through, like most closers, they simplify it. They're down. A lot of them just throw 2 pitches, and he basically cuts his fastball and throws a splitter.
Ground ball toward the hole, backhanded by Drew.
Or maybe take a pitch there, down by 2 runs.
Well, instead, he grounds out toward the hole. Wigginton is coming up. Nix will be in the on-deck circle. Wigginton, a .230 hitter, 9 home runs, 36 runs batted in. He's batting in Schneider's spot. And then the pitcher's spot is due next. One ball, no strikes, the count. 2-0. Trying to get a base runner. Looper out towards second, caught by Hill for the second out. So 2 away, and now it's Lance Nix, who's the last opportunity for the Phillies. Well, the Diamondbacks, we mentioned, came into tonight's ball game 2 games out behind the Giants in the division. They're behind the Dodgers too. The Dodgers are a half game behind the Giants. Anyway, Giants have jumped out to a 3-0 lead over the Rockies. That game's in the 4th. Dodgers play later on. They'll begin in just a little bit against the Cubs. Lance Nix, .288, 2 homers, 12 runs batted in. Talked to Lance today about his brother Jason, who's been filling in for the Yankees with A-Rod on the disabled list. He's got some extra playing time. So he's really proud of his brother, the way he's taken advantage of an opportunity with the Yankees. Takes a strike, 0-1.
Because you don't replace that guy, you just try to fill in.
Well, it's been Chavez for the most part, but Jason Nix has gotten a chance to play a little bit too. Change up, and it's 0-2. Swing and a miss, so the Phillies go down quietly here in the 9th inning as the Diamondbacks win the first game of this 3-game series by a score of 4-2. So the Phils unable to muster anything against the Diamondbacks bullpen, which has been the best bullpen in baseball since the 22nd of June. Justin Upton, our Chevrolet player of the game, 2 for 4, a home run, 2 runs scored. He also is credited with throwing John Mayberry out at the plate in what would have been the 3rd run, the tying run at the time. Replays show that Mayberry slid in under the tag, but it's still an outfield assist for Justin Upton. Back in the 2nd, he provided us with our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
May have been a changeup, kind of hung in the middle of the plate, started to run towards him a little bit, and he had a long home run. They hit 2 home runs tonight, and they weren't cheap.
No, in fact, here comes the other one.
Yeah, the other one. This is a bomb right here, right over the AT&T sign into the 2nd row in the upper deck. You don't see many up there.
So Ian Kennedy gets the win. It's his 4th consecutive victory. J.J. Klutz with the save. The Phillies lose game 1. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this from Philadelphia.